Alright, straight off the bat, this video is about the legendary POCO F1. Now, why do people call this phone legendary? I mean, this phone was a huge success. Everyone was going all gaga about this. But why didn't POCO make an F2 to carry on with this legendary tag? I mean, if this was Samsung or Apple, you'd kind of expect them to mint this success like crazy. But this, with all the flagship features, something even better than the flagship phones then had, this was launched at 20,999, and that raised a lot of eyebrows. Look, it was August 2018, and this was the first phone from POCO launched at 20,999 with the Snapdragon 845 processor, which, by the way, was the flagship processor at the time. And it was crazy. It's not like there was a catch to this phone. This was an impressive phone for the price, and this was a true flagship killer. And they were so sure about this phone that POCO decided to take on OnePlus with these crazy do the math campaigns. Yeah, fun times. Plus, the interesting bit is this is still available on Amazon and on Flipkart, and that got me wondering, how does this fare in 2023? See, we have had this phone for 5 years now, and the most surprising thing, even in 2023, this phone performs like a gem. Yes, the Snapdragon 845 is now an older chipset, but if you look at the benchmarks versus, say, the Snapdragon 4 Gen 2 on the Redmi 12, you can see that the Snapdragon 845 comes very close. In fact, the GPU on the older 8 series chipset is still better. And you know what? This shows in the performance. The POCO F1 is still great to use. Everything still runs without any hiccups, be it apps or even games. BGMI supports HDR Ultra or Smooth Extreme Graphics, and in Smooth Extreme Graphics, the game is still very much playable. This still is a very capable phone. Honestly, I've used a lot of newer, low-end, budget smartphones, and I can tell you that this still feels faster compared to them, and this seems better not just in terms of performance. The cameras are still very good. I know there's practically a single camera here, but I remember this phone doing wonders in terms of camera, especially with the G-Cam mod in the past, and still takes fairly good photos, especially for a phone that's 5 years old now. In fact, this is a phone that shoots 4K 60 FPS videos, which is not something you find in mid-ranges even today. The design of the phone is plasticky, but this is a phone we've had for 5 years now, and it still looks fine all around. They are positive too compared to today's smartphones. There's no weird camera bump here. It's got a headphone jack. It's got an IR face scanner, which means face unlock works perfectly even in the dark. It's got a fingerprint scanner on the back, which is something I like a lot because the finger just lands perfectly on it. Yes, the notch and the big chin aren't something you want in 2023, but other than that, this phone still looks and feels nice. The display is also 60Hz LCD, and well, there are phones with better displays out there. It looks good, it's still decently bright, and the colors look good too. It's by no means a bad display. Honestly, using this phone in 2023 reminds me of how iconic the POCO F1 was when it launched. This was the first phone that created the whole budget flagship segment. I mean, for what was POCO's first smartphone, this was a true game changer. It actually disrupted the market. POCO instantly became a popular brand with this, and I remember everyone was waiting for the POCO F2, but that never arrived. What actually arrived were the different mid-ranges, which were no match to the POCO F1. There were bugs, motherboard issues, and these took away all the goodwill of the POCO brand. In fact, even if POCO launches a good phone now, like say the POCO F5, which is very good, all people comment are motherboard jokes. You know, it kind of scarred them for life, like the green line is doing in 2023. I wake up tomorrow and you never know. All said and done, the POCO F1 in 2023 at around 10,000 rupees, the answer is no. Sure, the performance is good, it has some cool features, be it the IR face unlock, the stereo speakers, but there are multiple reasons why I'm saying no. First, this is a 4G phone and it does not support 4G+, so even 4G speeds aren't that good. Officially, this is no longer supported, so this runs on MIUI 12 based on Android 10, and it won't get any security updates too, which is a big deal. Yes, there are Android 13 based custom ROMs available for the phone, but that's not practical for everyone. There's also the wideband license problem. Xiaomi did update it to wideband L1 later on, but it still runs Netflix videos in SD. Plus, if you look at recent reviews of the phone listing, you will see people complaining that they are getting refurbished phones, faulty phones. So yeah, I wouldn't get this if I were you. But yeah, this makes me want more exciting phones in 2023. Sure, they're good phones all around, but how about making that one phone that actually takes the market by storm? Well, here's hoping brands see this and make something happen in 2024. Comment below if you want that as well, and thank you for watching.